Hello everyone, this is Caleb. Welcome back to the channel, and let's talk about the future of Zelda. So, first of all, this is just coming off of Tears of the Kingdom, which is the second best-selling Zelda game. The first, of course, is Breath of the Wild. Right now, 31 million copies. Tears of the Kingdom, 19 million. Last we checked, it's probably at 20 by now. Past that, even. And the thing, it seems obvious what the answer is, the future of Zelda, because, like I said, 31 million, 19 million... And Tears of the Kingdom just came out, by the way, which it was the fastest-selling Zelda game. The next best-selling Zelda game is Twilight Princess, which was a launch title for the Wii, and it's at 9 million. So it's significantly less than Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom already sold 10 million more copies than Twilight Princess, which is the previous best-selling. So it seems obvious that the future of Zelda is going to be the open-air style, right? But let's just... What are the styles of Zelda, okay? There's 4 main styles of Zelda for the mainline games. First off is obviously open air, which is the newest ones, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. The next is traditional 3D Zelda. So you got Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword. And then there's the 2D games, which you have like Link's Awakening, Link Between Worlds, Phantom Hourglass, all that. And then, of course, there's the multiplayer games. However, all of the multiplayer games are sort of a subset of 2D because they've all only been 2D up to this point. There's been Four Swords Adventures, and Triforce Heroes. Four Swords, the original, got a re-release on DSi back in 2011, I think, because that was the 10-year anniversary of the game. Point is, those are the styles of Zelda. Technically, if you want to count Zelda 2 as like a new, different style, well, not new, but as a different style, you could, but that's the only game in the series that it's ever been in that style, and it's been 30 years, so I'm pretty sure they're probably not going to make another game in that style. So, those are the different styles of Zelda. So, and of course, like I said, open air, it's the newest one, the best-selling one, so that seems like the basic answer to this question. But let's dig a little bit deeper, because the next game probably isn't going to be a brand new open air game, because Zelda games typically release annually. Of course, I think last year there wasn't a game, but other than that, we've pretty much gotten annual games. Of course, if you count Hyrule Warriors, and then there's also Link's Awakening, right? And of course, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Plus, basically, if you're counting all the spin-offs, there's usually an annual release. Sometimes they'll skip a year there, but generally speaking, there's an annual game, even if it's not like a mainline. And of course they'll do like re-releases and remakes and stuff like that, but just to fill out the time between the new games. But let's keep that in mind. First of all, like I said, probably not going to be a brand new game next. I gotta ask the question, where are Wind Waker and Twilight Princess? Because these games have been MIA since the Switch came out, right? And obviously Wind Waker HD came out in 2013, which was 10 years after the original release. When Twilight Princess HD came out in 2016, which was 10 years after its original release, and then Skyward Sword HD 2021, 10 years after its release. Wind Waker HD is as old as the original version was when it came out, so it's been 10 years since Wind Waker HD. It's not on Switch yet, and people have been asking for this since the Switch came out, honestly. So where are those games? I do think they're going to come out eventually. I think they'll probably come out on Switch. They might skip next year just because they just released the biggest game that they've ever made. So they might skip a year. But I think they'll probably release them on Switch 1. It's going to be playable on Switch 2, probably, because I think it's going to be backwards compatible. But I think it'll be technically released for Switch 1. And of course, backward compatibility, all people who buy the new console can also play it. I also think there's going to be some enhancements, like they'll probably bring back the Tingle Bottle, which was like a Miiverse thing in Wind Waker, and probably do something with Twilight Princess as well that had like a stamp thing. So they'll probably do that because they did that like with Splatoon, redid the Miiverse stuff. But so there's going to be that. I think it'll probably come out maybe next year or 2025. I feel like they're going to sell them individually. I don't think it's going to be a bundle package for like $50. That's not a very Nintendo move. Nintendo move would be selling them each for $60. But you get the idea. So, what about the next actual, like, brand new game? Like, what about a 2D game, right? Are we going to get a new 2D game? Because I like the 2D games. My favorite game in the series is Link's Awakening. So I was really excited when the remake got announced. Anyway, point is, do you think it's going to be multiplayer? It could be. I sort of doubt it because the newest brand new 2D Zelda game was already multiplayer. But that was also like 8 years ago, so of course Triforce Heroes. But also, what about Zelda Maker? Because, Mario Maker has been pretty successful, so what about Zelda Maker? And they did experiment with the chamber dungeons in Link's Awakening. Of course, that was the worst part of the game, but, that's beside the point. It was just because you couldn't actually design the games, the rooms themselves. You just had a bunch of rooms, so it was kind of disjointed, and it was like it was a whole thing. If you played it, it kind of sucks. But I'm also reminded there was a fan game called Legend Maker. I don't know if they were still working on that or what happened with that. That was like years ago. If you guys remember, or you could tell me what happened with Legend Maker. It was basically just a Zelda Maker in the style of Mario Maker. You can design individual rooms with the individual blocks and stuff like that. It was originally going to be a Zelda Maker, like, fan game, but of course he eventually decided to rework it to be called Legend Maker, and it's new sprites and everything like that. So interested to see. I have no idea what the hell happened with that. I haven't looked into it in years, but did it release? Did it die? I don't know. If anyone knows, let me know. Point is, Zelda Maker, I think that'd be nice. I would definitely buy that. That would be awesome to play Zelda Maker. Of course, I'm not that big of a fan of Mario Maker because I like traditional 2D Mario better than Mario Maker. I don't really like all the Mario Maker like designs and stuff like that, but like the music levels or like the auto levels or the weird Kaizo or troll levels even. So more like a traditional fan. So I feel like I probably like regular Zelda better than Zelda Maker, but it'll still be fun to have him as Zelda Maker. I think that'd be great, especially considering that with Mario Maker, Nintendo released their own levels, so I feel like they would release their own dungeons, which would actually be good. So that'd be nice. But how about the next 3D game? Because I feel like that's the thing that people care about the most. So the next 3D game, I don't think is going to be a brand new game, and I've said this in the past. I don't know if I've said it on this channel or my friend's channel. However, I do think the next game is going to be, and he's in agreement with me on this, Ocarina of Time. I think the next 3D game is going to be Ocarina of Time. Of course, if you don't count like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. So, Ocarina of Time, why do I think this? Well, Ocarina of Time is the most, in my opinion, deserving of a remake, at least of the 3D games. Of course, I already got a remake on 3DS, but by the time this would release, Ocarina of HD would release, it would already have been more time than the time between the original release and the 3DS release. So I think it deserves another remake. And when I had come up with this idea a while ago, I was envisioning that basically the game would just be completely new. It wouldn't be be a different formula. It wouldn't be like open air or anything like that, but it would be expanded. It would basically be indistinguishable from a brand new game. But my friend basically said it would probably be Grezzo making it. So I guess that makes sense. It'd be more of a, you could tell that it's an old game, but it'd be like, HD makeover. But so this will be great. Of course, they would add camera controls, but still be fun. But of course, that's another remake. So what about a brand new game? And of course, you got to ask. And people, I mentioned this in a couple of videos, but the Tears of the Kingdom sort of switch up is, it's some people don't like the game anymore. They say that it's mid or the recency bias wore off or whatever. And I have voiced my opinion about that. I do think it's a very good game, but I think that they probably could have done something a little bit more unique than Breath of the Wild because it was basically identical in terms of structure. But is traditional Zelda dead? That's basically my question. I don't think so. I mean, in a sense, yes. We're not going to go back to exactly the way it was before Breath of the Wild. I don't think we're going to get a brand new game in that older style. I think if they are going to make a new game, it's going to be sort of in between the open air and the traditional style. So you're going to have traditional dungeons and bosses, but it's still going to be open world with, shrines and stuff like that. Hopefully they call it something else different than shrines, and maybe shrines don't even exist. It's just like different challenges around the map. That'd be nice. But I think the way it used to be is done. We're not going to see another game like that. Not a brand new one. We'll see remakes, like I said, Ocarina of Time. But like I said, dude, look at the sales numbers. It's not even close. 31 million for Breath of the Wild and 19 million for Tears of the Kingdom, which just came out this year. It's not even close, dude. The gap is literally 10 million units. It already more than doubled Twilight Princess in like a month. So in the first 3 days, I think, actually. So yeah, or it outsold Twilight Princess in the first 3 days. Point is, traditional Zelda probably not coming back. Open air, I do like it, but I wish they would sort of merge some of the traditional Zelda styles in there, make linear dungeons, stuff like that, more unique bosses, stuff like that. Look at the older games, see what you can bring over, what works, what doesn't, what doesn't clash with the whole open air idea. But that's what I think. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you guys like traditional Zelda better or open air Zelda better? Do you want a 2D game, multiplayer game, maybe a 3D multiplayer game? That'd be nice. What do you think about Wind Waker and Twilight Princess coming out on Switch? Yes or no? Zelda Maker, like I said, what the hell happened to Legend Maker? Anyway, that's basically it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.